Hello and welcome back to the MineTrek.net game server. Currently outside the Enterprise E build. Not a lot's been going on the server in the last couple of weeks. Haven't had much time to work on anything, and from the looks of it, looks like it's been pretty slow for other people as well. I did manage to get all the mess out here moved over and kind of set aside here in a nice little neat area. Blue Phobes, I believe, also designed a section that was slightly revised and then set into the ship. Let me show you here real quick. Nice little lounge area here. Or excuse me, well, this is actually pretty new. Looks like somebody finished this up. I wasn't done last time I was in here, so I don't know who did this. Let us find out who did this, so we can say thank you. Blue Phobes. Looks like Blue Phobes been busy. Looks good, Blue. I gotta say, this really does look good. I like how you did this up here, by the way. It looks kind of neat. Nice use of this stuff. Nice, very nice. See here if we can figure out where that lounge is at too. Did a nice little, here it is. He did this section here up for us. A little bit of revision work to the initial design, but overall very nicely done. The rainbow bar, the hangar hole, whatever you want to call it. Just a nice little kickback area. I turned that gamma bright off, but then we'd end up with that screen thingy, and I don't want to deal with that right now. So, anywho, that's kind of what's been going on. That's pretty much the gist of the ship. Looks like some work has been done up here as well. So, but just little minor stuff. Stuff Blue's been working on. Maybe some stuff that Bomb and Mad might have done. But to be honest with you, I'm not really sure exactly if they've done anything. There was a little thing done down there, but I don't know if that was a joke or not, so I'll leave it for now. Overall, that's pretty much it for the Enterprise E. Just haven't had the time to work on it. I really need to get in here and lay out the rest of the columns for the forward section of the ship. Once those are in, I'll feel a lot better about you know, how the ship's progressing and stuff. I'd also like to focus in on getting this actual medical complex completely filled and security complex completely done up down here, and then have it ready to go back into the ship once the ship is mirrored. But that's, you know, that's a project for another time. Anything back here that may have been done, I kind of did a real quick run through, and all I see are these areas here. Not real sure what this is. I assume some sort of a actually I see that they got the armor stands working. If this is the way it's gonna if this works, then this is pretty cool. I gotta say, I don't know, I had problems with the armor stands before, but yeah, this looks pretty darn cool. We can retrofit this area into the area down below as well, but that's pretty good. I like that. As long as nobody tries to use the armor stands. I had a problem with them earlier, but yeah, this looks pretty badass. I would replace these here, but other than that, I don't know. I may not. Yeah, it looks good. I like this environmental weapons systems here. Yeah, this looks pretty badass, guys. Nice job on this. Let's see what else they got. Little red thingies. Go over here to the hangar hole. Right up here real quick. There's nothing really up here other than a little cove. The reason why this isn't against this wall is that this counteracts with these stairs and tries to become one big stair. It looks like crap. And there's Mr. Heller wearing his spacesuit and running really, really fast. I was wondering why he was in that skin. I guess it's a copy of his skin. If he changes his skin, then those suits will probably change as well. But yeah, that's pretty badass. I like that. That's actually pretty neat. I'm not a big fan of the way this floor looks. It looks eh. But overall, coming along is that midsection. The next big thing I'd like to get done is this area through here. Apart from the columns, I'd like to get in here and start situating this hangar. I know Matt had been doing doing all this stuff here. So anyways, looks like this is going to be a two-part episode. I'll have to splice it together. Good old editing software, which is a pain in the ass to use. But anywho, catch you in the next part. Normally I would say no. This interferes with the cargo, or excuse me, the cargo corridor. I would say no. So I don't know if my microphone's recording because I'm having issues with Corsair and their shitty drivers. So, anywho, I saw that when I was recording. I was setting up the editing software, so I don't know. Alright, I'm back. I had to fix the Voyager door. There was something wrong with the mechanism itself, so I just went ahead and ripped it out and went with Plan B. I'll show that to you in a second here, but right now I'm over at the Steam runner, not Steam runner, excuse me, the Norway. Whoops. Oops. And M's going to do a quick restart. See you in a minute. And I'm back again. Hopefully all the the restarts and stuff of the server are done for the time being. But yeah, if we're looking at the we're using right now. I'm on the standard Minecraft vanilla resource pack, and I gotta say, it's pretty cool to see this stuff. But yeah, it allows me to see the contrasts and differences in Redstone a lot easier. I'll turn back texture mapping on before the next segment, but yeah, just running through here, and this is being worked on. I'm looking for the bridge so that I can tell you the guy's name who's been doing all this work on this build. It's around here somewhere. There's the bridge. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Double Friss 12, or Debel Friss 12. Anyways, this guy right here, he's been really busy on this build. He's done a magnificent job so far. Granted, there are some issues with the build that it's beyond his ability, beyond anybody's ability to really deal with, and that was we used cauldrons along the baseboard here originally, and that's provided a lot of issues for us because with the new resource pack, cauldrons don't look right. Now granted, if you had lighting underneath the cauldrons, it looks amazing, but we can't have lighting underneath the cauldrons in all sections of the ship, so they went ahead, I believe him and Mad Squirrel went ahead and started reverting it back to the sandstone here, which is of course our standard baseboard design. But yeah, this is what everything looks like when you're not running the resource pack. It looks, you know, I gotta say, this is was fun to lay out. I worked with Bomb, Mad Squirrel, and I Panic on this, and a couple other people helped out as well. I don't know everybody's name, I apologize, but I don't. But it worked out real well for the planning and stuff, and she's the third ship in this line, so she's kind of a high-profile ship, and we want to see her get done. And she's not a bad ship. She has a lot of real estate in her, and you know, we're still in a process of working and recovering things. Not recovering, but remodeling things. So there are some changes. Like I did a lot of revamp work in the back of the hangar here a while back, and that led to the big foobar of January, I believe it was, where everything got converted to some other block, and it was just horrendous, and M had to roll this area back. That was a wee issue, and hopefully that type of thing has been taken care of. But yeah, if you look through here, you can see all the deck patterns and layouts. This is a great time to come on the server and check this stuff out. You can see how things are laid out, and I did all of this layout wise, and not all the interior design but just the general layout. I'm getting a bit of a tap on my frame rate hits here. I'm not sure what's causing that. It's an interesting thing though. Shouldn't be hitting me, especially running stock or vanilla resource pack. I shouldn't be getting it. But yeah, this is the deflector. It might be all the glass. There's no item frames in here that I'm aware of, and we're trying to limit the use of item frames because even in 1.8 they still have a lot of issues when it comes to things. Minecraft is extremely CPU heavy. If your computer keeps crashing and you're having problems playing Minecraft, chances are pretty good and you have a decent video card or even not a decent video card. Minecraft doesn't really use the video card. It pushes everything through the CPU, and if your CPU isn't up to snuff, or just an older like AMD version or even an older Intel Core Duo, you're going to run into problems. I really recommend people go with a Core i5 or a Core i7. You don't have to overclock it or anything, because it's all about how much information can get pushed through a single thread. Now, the later versions of Minecraft are supposed to address that, but granted, some of it has been fixed. There's still serious problems with how Minecraft utilizes resources. So if you're having problems, it's most likely because of your CPU and not your video card or anything else like that. Although having an extra video card does help, or an extra video card, but having a good video card does help in gaming in general. Anyways, real quick over here on the Voyager, now that I've rambled on for so long. The old door, I went ahead and pulled it out. I preserved it over in the boneyard over there, but the new door over here, that's what was causing it, and was playing with the door and was causing a lag. This, I'm sorry about this sort of jump cut here. When I was editing what I had done earlier, I noticed that my frame rates were just abysmal, stuttering and chopping and everything else, and it was related to this chunk over here where the door is located. When I attempted to record earlier, in fact I'm seeing it happen right now, I'm losing frame rates, I'm getting chunk in all sorts of issues. This door was broken. I'm trying to move in without having it stutter too much. This whole section through here just was corrupted. It still is. I assume there's something seriously wrong with this chunk through here. Something got screwed up. Anyways, the original door system that was here wouldn't function correctly, which was a CMB piston design. And I ripped it out and I went ahead and went with a slab piston system, which is basically a side open door system, as you can see. The lights turn on when somebody comes out, and you can turn them back off if you just step on the pressure plate. And if you're out and you want them on, you just step on the pressure plate and you turn them back on. But yeah, I went ahead and revised all this and put it in here, and when I tried to record the video earlier showcasing this, it was just abysmal. I don't know what was causing the lag, but yeah, anyways, hopefully this revised version will work and look pretty decent. As you can see, I'm back with the resource pack anyways, so that should make it look pretty decent. It's amazing how good the Voyager looks even without the resource pack. I was going to note that, and I never did. And here we are back at the Excelsior. This is a man squirrel build. I'm still waiting for some of the chunks to load. Most of them appear to have loaded, so we should be good to go. Not a lot's been done on her as well, but a lot more of the refining as far as the deck plan has been laid out. Matt hasn't been on in the last couple of days, so I haven't had a chance to touch base with him. When I was on and he did get on, I was AFK. I actually literally fell asleep at my desk. Drool coming out. It was disgusting. Anyways, yeah, on my keyboard. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Pretty tired. I've been fighting the flu bug, and I guess it finally just caught up with me. Anyways, I was going through here. This is going to be a Jeffries tube along through here, out to there, and back along through here. A lot more of the deck plans through here have been finalized. Well, finalized, but getting close for Matt to say yay or nay on. As far as finalization goes, it'll be him. I'm not really sure what I'll do here. I don't know if I'll extend them back to here or not yet. I haven't really figured that out. I probably will. And then, of course, this is the impulse engine. The reason I want to extend it out here is so that it would actually come up to the impulse engine, and this would probably end here, and this path will come to here. So this corridor would actually lead into the turbolift, into the Jeffries tube, and the Jeffries tube also feeds into the impulse engine bay. And there'll be a door here to go into the impulse engine bay. I was going to ask Matt if he wanted to do something like this. This is all temporary, of course. It's why it's yellow. But kind of like with the Enterprise E, where there's a dome at the top of the engineering core at the engineering department, and then the warp core narrows. But I was thinking if we did that, we could repurpose this area in here and use it for upper decks, or just turn it into like catwalks. I'll leave it up to him to decide yet. I also did a real cheap mock-up of a bridge here, just to show where the auxiliary bridge of the ship is at. And this is the separation plane, so if the ship separates and this section gets jettisoned, this section here, this becomes the hull of the primary, and this becomes the top of the secondary. So yeah, anywho, also rerouted the aft turbo lift, not turbo lift, but Jeffrey's tube, moved it to the side here so that it makes more sense. Also tried to keep as much of this area open as possible for whatever Mad wanted to put through here. There's a thing down here, a shuttle pod thingy. Basically, I guess this represents the actual pod itself. It doesn't. This magenta thing is the actual pod, so this could actually get ripped out of here. That doesn't need to be there. This whole pink thing right here is, I should recolor that. If you step in it, you know, you're in the command seat and lie on out, you know. So I wanted to make sure there was a lot of room back here for that, and it totally fits. Also routed a second, I don't know what you would call this, but turbo lift around the side here. So this will be like a circular, and then there'll be another one up there, just a couple of decks above it. So one of them is above the ship in that section, and then there's one down here in this section. So both the upper saucer section and the lower secondary hull have their own little circular part. Thought that seemed to be a good way to go with it. Also finished up this section here. This took quite a bit. I'm not sure how Mad wants to lay this out. If he wants to do it like we did with the Enterprise B, he'll have room on the side here to put those little parts and doohickeys and doodad things that M. Heller has on the B all the way back. This right here, of course, can all be taken out. It's just a match for this up here. But yeah, the gravel there is just, I haven't put down magenta yet, so that's why the gravel's still there, just a drop from that. But put a turbo lift, not turbo lift, Jeffrey's tube comes all the way back here, and then it leads up to the upper hangar. I'm not sure how he wants to do this, to be honest with you. I included a ladder to get up into here, but there's no access from here to this side of it. When I did the B, I ran into the very same issue, and I ended up having to redesign it considerably just to make sure that this, because in the images we had, there were decks in here, and as you can see, you can't do much for that here. And there's not even enough room here to really utilize anything in this area. If you want to have the full hangar, you have to have your access point here on both sides. Now, I can move the access point forward, but then we run into all this stuff. And to be honest with you, not really certain what to really put down here. I mean, I can easily route a corridor through here, and you can just end up putting carpet down for it. But what would happen is it would come back here, then it would actually, like, at some point climb up like a stairwell up and come around here. But I'm not really sure what all of this is, you know. I realize it's just ship decorations that they bolted on the model for some movie, but yeah, at this point, you know, these things here could just get filled in, because I really, you know, they can just be filled in with whatever, and then this corridor can come further back, and then we can move this further forward, and then purpose this as like a, I don't know, my mind would be that it's like where you park a shuttle, but obviously you can't, so turn it into like a little lounge or something. I don't know. I have to talk to Matt about what he wants to do with that, what his intentions are for this area, because again, this whole area can just be filled in. This can be filled in with carpet, of course. You can't fill these in because they're part of the lines. It's tricky. It's real tricky. Now, I guess if we really wanted to, just for giggles, I could just do this. Come through here. But at some point it would stop because of the fact that, you know, I'm just putting these in because I'm trying to illustrate the area that needs to be filled above without, you know, losing the, having to, you know, cover it up with carpeting, so to speak, the whole thing. But as you can see, it can't really be done, so I gotta rip all this out now, and this is a drag, I tell you. Excelsior's been an interesting build. It was a lot different than the B build. It's gone by a lot faster than the B build. Again, well, Mad Squirrel's the guy that's working on it primarily, so it's his call as to what is yes or no on pretty much everything that goes on with the ship. Still actually might do that just to drop this down one, but anywho, yeah, ain't gonna work. So basically what happens is the shuttle comes in, it goes here, it gets lowered down to here, and then it comes through here and into shuttle parking and all that other stuff further forward. The reason you can't have shuttle parking back here is because you have this thing, and then you have this thing back here, this launcher thing. So shuttle parking actually has to be done here. There are some images that have shuttle parking here, but in order to do that here, we'd literally have to lower this down by 1 block, maybe 2 blocks, for it to become shuttle parking here. That's possible, but then again, it just makes the back of the ship even taller than it is currently. And so anyways, it comes through here, and this is just cargo and shuttle parking, and more cargo space, and then there's some lifts up here, turbo lifts. The reason it does that is so that you can walk around here, so it comes down, scoots over, goes back over that way. These are just decorative fin thingies that are on the ship. Don't know why they do it. I guess at some point they figured they needed it for something. Or it just looked good to the guys that designed the model. In all honesty, that's probably why they did that. And the ship, you know, it looks like something you would see, like somebody converted an old naval ship into being a spaceship. So when this first came out in Star Trek 3, which was kind of a revolutionary movie for the Star Trek franchise, because in it we got to see the new modelings, the early settings of 3D work by Industrial Light and Magic. We were introduced to the Grissom, the Bird of Prey, the Excelsior, Starbase, that big Starbase, that mushroom in space. We got to see all kinds of new technologies used for rendering images in the movie, as well as advances in sound. Plus, well, the main big thing is we got the new starships, and I remember seeing the first Excelsior, which then was called the Ingram class, and I was like, God, that's an ugly ship. I'd never liked that ship. Turned out to be one of the ships that I even today I consider to be one of my favorites. I love the Enterprise B, and the Excelsior is just one of those ships that just after a while it just grows on you. You know, you see it for what it is, and you just fall in love with it. For those who don't, well, piss off. All honesty, boo-hoo. I have yet to meet a Star Trek person that doesn't like it, and when I do, I'll just say, oh, too bad. You know, what else can you say? But anyways, it feeds down into here, and there are doors back here. I assume these are doors for additional cargo. And then it comes into here, and then comes on down to the lower hangar bay. Again, as far as hangar bay designs go, this truly sucks. But this is where it is on the ship. So, yeah, you know, ideally what I'd love to have done is purpose, but again, you can't because of the space requirements. You got your deflector dish here, and you got other things back here, but you'd have like shuttle parking up in there. But yeah, what can you do? It's the Excelsior. Mad did redesign a little bit back here to clean it up a little bit, to give himself a lot more utilizable space. So a little bit of cleanup work had to be done back here. I guess this is going to be a, if I'm not mistaken, a jam. Yep, a work bee hatch. That's pretty cool. I like how he did that. So be a little work bee down here. Yay, love work bees. But come through here. I set aside a nice little area for the deflector. I don't know if this pattern here is going to stay the same. Mad may change it. The reason this is like this is just to show that this is where that line is, and this will probably be an open area. Again, all the Jeffries tubes connect now, so you can literally go from the lowest deck all the way to the bridge if you want. If you really wanted to, you just have to do a bit of exploring. I also, with the incarnation of the Jeffries tubes, with the setup of the Jeffries tubes, if I can get up to where I need to be, I think I need to come down. Yeah, I do. It's down here. In the Enterprise B, it's a really large room, but on this ship here, it's not so large. This would be like that little area Kirk came into. In the Enterprise B, you see them, they come down the corridor, and then Kirk comes through here, and there'd be like a little room in here, and then this is the room Kirk was in when he got kilterfied. Yeah, that works better. When you got space-rated, turned into the Nexus, or whatever you want to call it. But on the Enterprise B, this area was expanded because they expanded the secondary hull. So, but on the Excelsior, it's about the size it would have been on the Enterprise B. That we saw in the set piece on the Enterprise B. But yeah, I figured, what the hell, see if I could sneak it in there, and I was able to. So there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'll let Mad Squirrel deck it out, because it's his call. It's his baby. It's his baby. But yeah, pretty much that's it for this little update on the server and what's going on. Again, still working out all the bugs with version 1.8. Heller's been very busy, very diligent about that. The server is his baby, and he wants it to run as smooth as possible. There's been a lot of activity as far as people coming on and causing problems and getting banned for it. You're welcome. We're glad to ban people. You know, we're happy to oblige you if you want to be a douchebag. But for those of you that come on and just want to check stuff out, a couple of the builds to really keep an eye on, of course, are the Excelsior, the Enterprise E, and the Norway, as well as, well, pretty much two are the ones that have been done. But these are the active builds currently, and hopefully we'll see some more progress being made on the Enterprise E, this Excelsior, as well as the Norway in the near future. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Again, this is the MineTrek.net game server.